with Des. I know I'm on here late. It was Monday Night Football. So I'm thinking that on Mondays, I'm going to have to get on a little bit later because I have to watch the game. I got to tune in. So we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Washington Commanders. I almost said somebody's. But they are dipping into winning. The game looks pretty much back and forth. But that's not what we're here for. We have a lot to talk about. The Browns, they made the most shocking decision ever with naming their QB. Are we really surprised though? Not really. An Olympic track star has been provisionally banned because of a violation of the anti doping. And we're going to get into that because it may not be exactly what we think that it is. Matthew Judon has a new home. I'm excited about this one because he's one that I've been waiting to see where he was going to land and so much more. But you know what I have to do? Play my introduction because I got to make sure I give it to you. And we're going to hop in right after this. Admit it. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it loud. Got you feeling so proud. This is how we do it now. Daily dose with this. Got you coming back for more. Yeah. So we have to hop right on this into these things. So what I thought was very interesting, before I even get started, hold on. I be wanting y'all to get on. This thing don't never show what I needed to show when I needed to show it. It's like, jeez. I don't know. For some reason, my thing ain't working. It's all right, y'all. It ain't working, so I have to figure it out another way. But we have so much to talk about, and I'm about to hop into it. Seems I was just starting slow. I don't know. I usually have my iPad here so I can watch what I need to watch. It's all right. Boom, there we go. Working, so I had to figure it. Boom, there you go. All right. We're back in action. Okay. I be so excited to get on here and talk to y'all. Even though I be some dirt tired. Monday madness, okay? I feel like Mondays is always some madness going on. And, you know, you just got to kind of like get on into it. But we're going to start because I told myself we was going to start off the show on a so happy, non-shocking note. Joe Flacco has been named the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for this season. Are we surprised? No, not really. We're not. We already knew that coming in that he was going to be the front runner. That's why they got him when Deshaun Watson went out with the Achilles. So I seen this already coming. I never thought that there was a different option. I always thought that he was going to be QB1. I thought everybody else was fighting for QB2 and 3. So really now the question is, who's going to be QB2? Is it going to be Dylan Gabriels and his little shade throwing? Is it going to be Shador? Is it going to be Kenny Pickett? All of them are facing injuries right now. So it's just like, who do you select? A lot of people think that it's going to be Shador. Some people think that it's going to be Dylan Gabriels. I mean, I think that Dylan is obviously more liked. Dylan was obviously wanted more than Shador. Look at the draft order. So to me, it's given that. I don't even consider Kenny Pickett. I just don't. I haven't considered him since he got there. Okay, so I don't know. So that's the thing there. I think that he's going to just continue to be him. But it's like, we couldn't play in Joe Flacco's face. We knew he was going to be there. We knew he was going to start. Like, these are things that we already knew. Okay? So we're going to move on from that. Let me look and see the chat. Like, y'all not surprised? Y'all not surprised, chat. Hey, Alex. Okay, Alex asks, curious to see what your thoughts are on the Eagles' edition of John Mechie. Honestly, I feel like the Eagles, in every way that they possibly can, they just continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger every way they can. I made a video before where I said that the Eagles right now are still the team to beat. They still are the team that is Super Bowl bound team. Who is going to beat the Eagles? That's still the question. And I feel like adding somebody, any additions that they add at this point are going to be great additions because they don't add bad additions. And just in my opinion, I feel like they seem to know how to put people in places. They really understand their puzzle and they find the pieces to the puzzle to make it fit and make it work. I think the Ravens do a really good job of this too, of finding pieces that they actually need to plug it in. That's why they do really well in the draft, because their presidents and their GM and the coaches all really kind of know what this puzzle needs to look like in order to be the most successful. Who do we need to have the most success on both sides of the ball, especially coming in, we're talking about, quarterback success with Jalen Hurts. And then on the flip side, when I said Lamar Jackson, like really trying to figure out how can we make this team the best fit possible. And I just think that the Eagles just do it really, really well. And low key, I was really hoping, I know this is gonna sound crazy when I say this, but I was really actually hoping that during the draft, because Shador fell so late, and I felt like the Eagles was going to pick him up when it was almost the Eagles' time, and Brown skipped up to get him. I felt as though if he would have went to the Eagles and played behind Jalen Hurts for a year or whatever, because I know people would say he could have started, but at this point, you're looking at QB2 where he fell in the draft, QB2, QB3, whatever. I feel like that would have been like the most ultimate decision for him. And I think that piece would have fit for that piece of the puzzle that Philly has. If it's making sense, you gotta understand what I'm saying. But if that makes sense, so that's how I feel with that. I feel like there is no bad addition that the Eagles have made in the most recent years. I think they've kind of really figured it out. And you got to give credit where credit is due. They definitely are doing all the right things, putting all the pieces in the right places to be the Super Bowl contender. So, yeah. But we're going to move on to Cam Ward. Now, when I saw this, Cam Ward got into a little scruffle. They were a little scrappy at practice. So I read the article, y'all, to make sure I understood what was going on so I could tell you the information. So essentially, Cam Ward threw a touchdown pass, had a good celebration. And, this guy here, Simmons wasn't feeling the celebration. Simmons wasn't with it. Okay? He was like, what you're not going to do is that. So, had a celebration. Actually, make sure I got it right. Yeah. So, Cam Ward had a connection with the wide receiver, Calvin Ridley. Welcome back. And after that, he did like the little celebration. So if you know, back in Miami, he did the Zombie Land signature type of celebration. And he ended up shoving Simmons. And Simmons turned around and shoved him back in a face mask. And then they got the tussling. They got the scrapping. Because Simmons was in his feelings. He was like, you just keep your hands off of me. I don't know what you be doing, but this ain't that. Okay? He got a little bit in his feelings, a little bit in his emotions. I think it was just a little bit overblown. And I feel like the way that the media tried to blow it up, it was kind of like it's beef or whatever. I think it just kind of was like a miscommunication. Everybody don't play like that. So when you have people and you're still learning them and you're still building that brotherhood, everybody does not play with you shoving them or whatever, So I think Cam Ward probably is going to use that as a learning opportunity to be like, I'm never touching you ever again, bro. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And Simmons probably could have, loosened up a little bit. And hopefully you do a little apology. But it's nothing major. It's nothing super traumatic as much as the media is making it to be. I seen a quote that was like, brothers fight or whatever they were talking about. Like, it wasn't that serious. But you need to know, if you put hands on me, I'm going to put hands on you back. And we may have to do a little scruffle. Okay? Things might get a little jiggy. Okay? That's what Simmons said. We're going to get a little jiggy. You put your hands on me again, my boy. Like, don't be pushing me. Will Lil Wayne say, I'm not no killer, but don't push me? Yeah, I feel like it was kind of like that. He just was a little bit in his emotions, but things happen. adrenaline runs high sometimes, and sometimes you just get into it. All right, but moving on though. This why is let me go back to the photo. Let me make him a little bit bigger. Mr. Dart, Mr. Dart, Mr. Dart. It's like a little. Was that my hair? It might be a little thing here. So there was so much conversation when the New York Giants drafted him over Shedeur. And everybody was like, such a great pick. It's wonderful. They already say like New York really isn't the team that'll draft. All the drama. But Mr. Dart has been showing out. He's been showing out. He's been very impressive for the first 2 preseason games. Very impressive. Although they're still saying that Russell Wilson is going to be the QB1. Kind of understood that a little bit. Give him some time to sit back behind Russell to learn a little bit. But it looks like he is full on ready. He has the confidence. He has the calmness. He had the little necklace on. He had it together. Celebration dance and everything. So I liked what I saw in that preseason game, the last one that they just had. I didn't watch the first one, but he looked great. And it just seems like this was the fit. This was the best fit for him. And like, I know some people are like, well, whatever. It's just New York. It's just preseason. Everybody likes to downplay preseason, but like I said before, in preseason, we get to see some of these players and get to see, okay, what is the potential there? Or they're trying to make the roster. So a lot of these players who are trying to make the roster are going to show out because other teams are going to watch the rosters. Watch the games and check to see who's doing what. And you could possibly get signed somewhere else if you get cut. So it may not matter so much to like fans. It matters to me because I get to see who the heck I'm gonna be talking about all season. But you get to see what they're showing. And Dart went for 14 of 16 passes. He had 137 yards with a passing touchdown and another scoring rush on Saturday. So that was his first game. And he really just did great. He executed well. I mean, this is what you want to see from your rookie quarterback. This is what you want to see from your draft pick. This is what you want to see. Like, you want to see what he can do. You want to see what is he going to bring forth, because we already know Russell Wilson is not no spring chicken. Russell Wilson is not going to be there too much longer, and this is the future. This is the future for New York. So what does it look like? How does it seem? How does it feel? Just like I feel like where's Daniel Jones at? Oh crap. I just like I feel that Daniel Jones is fitting great in the system that he is in. Is it 49ers? He's fitting great in the system that he is in. I just felt like he does better with that system. I feel like Dart looks great in this system. I feel like there's another one that just looks great within the system. So it's like, this makes sense. Because sometimes you're in a wrong place at the wrong time and it just doesn't work out. And that's okay too. But I think this one is going to be a surprise to us. Hopefully nothing happens to Russell Wilson. He doesn't get benched or he doesn't get injured or anything. But I feel like if he does, or if things come to fruition, then I think that Dart is going to do his big one. I think he'll be ready. It's kind of one of the things like, I've seen enough. I'm impressed. I've seen enough. I'm impressed, okay? All right. Moving on to Denzel Perryman. All right. He is with the Chargers. I was supposed to report on this about 3 videos ago. My issue is I take screenshots. When I get the news that come through, I take screenshots of the news or of the picture so I won't forget. So I have the topic, especially when I got to go reference my phone. And I just be forgetting. Sometimes I have so many other pictures in there, so many other graphics that I'm going through that it just slips my brain sometimes. But I went back today and I seen this. I'm like, I didn't talk about this. This is now considered some older news, but it's actually been resolved now. So I'm actually glad that I get to talk about it now so I don't have to do a double report. But Perryman is a one-time Pro Bowler, has played 10 NFL seasons. He spent the last year with the Chargers, logging 55 tackles and 1 sack, and he is now also re-signed. Is at the start of his free agency. LA said, we like what you've done. We like what we see. We're going to re-sign you. So he's back re-signed with the Chargers. In this particular situation, he was arrested on August 1st, 9:30 p.m. in Los Angeles. And he was stopped because he had car violations. And every state is very much different. Like in Georgia, if you try to ride with like a tail light out, and most states are probably like this too, but with your tail light out, they're definitely going to pull you over. States that where you're supposed to have 2 license plates and you only be having one, you got one that's crooked to the side or falling off, you get stopped. I know New Jersey is good for that. So whatever the violation was, it didn't list it in the article, but they say he was pulled over for that code violation, and they found 5 different firearms in his vehicle. 2 were assault rifle styles. And LA, California in general, has some of the worst gun laws that I could possibly imagine. And I hear everybody always talk about California and their gun laws. So I think he should have known better. Put him in a duffel bag and put him in the trunk. Okay? Don't play with them when it comes to the weapons and things like that, because you're a black man. It speaks for itself. Okay? So he was actually held without bail until August 5th when he went to court. Then it says, obviously, the traditional, we are aware of the involving matter of Denzel, and we're gathering the information that came from the Chargers and everything. So again, they're just trying to see what was going on and all the things that's happening, right? So he finally went to court, and then some way, somehow, they dropped the charges. So he's released. Let's see here. Yeah. So I wanted to get the district attorney's name. So Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman decided not to file criminal charges. He was released on August the 5th around 1 p.m. Jim Harbaugh said that he visited Perryman in jail and was like, I'm going in there and I got good spirits. I'm going to talk to the DA for you so we can go ahead and get you out. But you make sure you put your weapons and your pew-pews in the trunk in a duffel bag next time and get your car up to code. I'm going to handle it, son. You just wait right here. That's how I envisioned this happening. I feel like Jim went down there, especially how they say he is in Michigan. Jim went down there and was like, don't worry, I got this. I'm going to handle it for you. And that's what we're going to do. Yes, he's with, okay. Thank you so much, the Blitz take. He is with, Daniel Jones is with the Colts. I couldn't remember. It was too many white uniforms. I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I've seen this white uniform. He's in a white uniform. Because when I watched the game, I'm like, okay, there's too many white uniforms going on. I love the white uniforms, by the way. I think that the Broncos white uniform is Chef's Kiss. The Eagles white uniform is, let me take Denzel off of here. The Eagles white uniform is Chef's Kiss. Even the Bengals, when they wear the white and the orange, it's just so good. So when I seen Daniel Jones out there, I said, oh, Daniel Jones, I said, I gotta look good. But I could only remember the white uniform. So thank you so much for that. So we ain't gonna backtrack too much, but Daniel Jones looks great in that Colts system. He's 6'5", seeing over the line. I don't know. Anthony Richardson may have an issue with his job because Daniel is competing. Daniel is there to compete for sure. So he gonna have a problem with that job. He better redneck an ass. Okay? Because Daniel said, I'm not injured. I'm not injury prone. I'm not tired. I don't sit out the third or fourth quarter of the game because I need fresh air and fresh breath. I'm just already here and I'm ready to do what I need to do. New York wasn't the place for me. but I'm gonna make Indianapolis the place for me. I'm gonna fit right on in up in here. So Anthony gonna have some problems on his hands. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on to Matthew Judon. Okay, so I really thought that, and I really thought that Matthew Judon was going to be a Steeler. I really did. I thought that. Call me crazy. What Drake say? Call me crazy. At least you're calling, right? Because I just wanted him to be a Steeler so bad, but he's not. He is taking his talents to Miami. So he is going to be a Dolphin. A Dolphin doing it. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it'll be a great fit. I know that the Dolphins need some help on that side of the ball, and Judon is the talent, and he's the man for the job. I think that that's just a really smart choice. Smart choice. Judon is 33. He had 5.5 sacks, second on the team, and 9 quarterback hits last season with the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, he did have a torn bicep. So last season was his first season back after injury, and he played 4 games in 2023. So he's coming back. I know that people like to say, "Oh, the injury is going to stop him or whatever," but I think he played really really good last season for the Falcons, and I think that he'll do really good in Miami. And I mean, why not? He did get a deal. What did he get? He is signed. Is it 1 year? He's signed to a 1 year contract, and it's worth up to 6 million. So he visited the team's. Excuse me. Why did I stutter like that? He visited the team's facilities on Monday and got to see like what they were working with, what they have going on, and then they offered him, and boom, signed. I think this is wonderful, spectacular. Ugh, it just makes so much sense for Miami. They still gonna be some booty cheeks, but let me stop trailing. I think such a great addition. Last year, the Dolphins ranked 27th in the NFL with 35 sacks, 16 of which came from Robinson and defensive tackle Zach Sealer. But I think this is going to be great. I think that they're going to definitely move up probably from 20. I can easily put them at a, they still going to be, I don't know. I would say 20th, but I feel like, I don't know. We're going to see. We'll see how that works out. But I think that that's great. Yeah. Go Matthew Judon. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Boom. Was that all of my NFLs? Oh, I'm flying through this. I only been here for 23 minutes. Okay, we flying through it. So we are flying through it. Yes, honey. So fantasy football. All right, as we're moving into the last preseason game to start to round up all of the fantasy football, round up all of it. You know, some people are starting to do their drafts. Some people are still trying to figure out what's going to happen, who they want to get. I gave y'all my top 5 no-brainers. So today I'm going to talk about the first round, give you the first round for fantasy football. Ashton Jeanty is in that top 5. He jumps ahead of Saquon Barkley. I told you on my last video that there was analytics that were saying that Saquon Barkley, yes, he's still top talent, but he may not be one of the number 1 or the 2 that you want to draft right away due to the analytics. Not due to just my liking, because obviously it's a no-brainer pick to have him on there, but you have to understand that the people that do these analytics, they do them for real. So that's their thing. The fantasy football thing is their thing. So listen. Okay, listen. This is the mock draft. This basically this mock draft is coming off of the ESPN fantasy team writers and editors, and they basically got together for a 12 team fantasy football mock draft with PPR scoring. Okay, so this will be, I'm going to give you the first round. It's 12. Okay, I'm not giving you round 2 and round 3. I'm not giving you all those extra rounds. Maybe tomorrow I'll give y'all round 2. If you like the video, I give you round 2 tomorrow. If you don't like the video, you're not getting jack shit. Okay? I gotta start asking y'all to do shit over here. Anywho. So before, my top 5 was what? Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Justin Jefferson. Those were the top 3. Number 4 was who was number 4? CeeDee Lamb. And then number 5 was Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, so that was my top 5 no-brainers, should already be on your lookout team. So for your first round, for the first round of this mock draft, you have coming in at number 1, Jamar Chase, Cincinnati, wide receiver 1. Number 2, you have Bijan Robinson, Atlanta, RB1. Justin Jefferson, coming in from the Minnesota Vikings, wide receiver 2. Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit, running back 2. Ashton Jeanty, Las Vegas, running back 3. Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles, running back 4. Christian McCaffrey, San Francisco 49ers, running back 5. CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver 3. Malik Neighbors, New York Giants, wide receiver 4. Puka Nacua, Los Angeles Rams, wide receiver 5. Number 11, Amon Ra. I always say his name wrong. Amon Ra, St. Brown, Detroit, wide receiver 6. Number 12, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacksonville Jaguars, wide receiver 7. Okay, that is the first of the mock draft, the first round in the mock draft. So these are the top 12 players that you should have on your radar coming in for the fantasy football mock draft. You should have enough brain cells to know that everyone that I previously named in my top 5 are currently on this list. Okay, CeeDee Lamb was not up in that top 5 for here, but he is, because I gave you wide receivers and running backs. So I mixed them all in there together. But I told y'all these are the ones you should be looking out for. And I also said to y'all, don't be going and drafting no quarterback in the first round. Do not do that. Fantasy football is about yardage. Your yardage equals your points. So you want to get your running backs and your wide receivers. Do not pick the man on the team that you like of your favorite team, because he may not be that great. Okay? I'm just saying. Just because you were a Packer fan does not mean that you need to get wide receiver 1 on the Packers. That's not what that means. There was no Packer on this list. So I need y'all to have enough brain cells to think outside the box. Don't say I never helped y'all with nothing. Okay? Because as I'm learning fantasy football, I'm like, a lot of this is a little bit of common sense, and y'all still gonna get it wrong. Okay? So I gotta talk to y'all a little bit. I gotta talk to y'all a little bit aggressive, a little bit of Jersey. Okay? Because I need y'all to get it right. You need to win. If you're gonna be over here, you're gonna be a playmaker over here. You know, you part of my community, you part of my crew. You gotta win. You gotta win in your leagues. All right, that's enough on that. Y'all got them now? I'm gonna drop the 12 in the description so you can be able to have it. Okay. Got my draft next Monday. Which position do you think I should focus on for the first 3 to 4 rounds? I usually go running back, then wide receiver, but want to take on it. Yes. Running back and wide receiver. Yes. Because you need the players that are going to produce the most yardage for you, so that you can get them points. And you know that already. So definitely get it. I think that I'm looking at here. I think you need to think about maybe at some point slide it, because on the round two they got two tight ends on there, so you might want to look at your tight ends at some point within the 3 or 4 rounds. I think that your quarterback should come in around late in the third, late or early fourth. Late third, early fourth is when you should do a quarterback. Again, I've been trying to study this stuff to understand and figure it out. But from my understanding, what everybody has told me and the advice that I've been giving and all the articles I've read is that you do not draft a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. You just don't. And if you got a really good person in your league that you drafting against, make sure you have multiple options for your running backs and for your wide receivers, because they're already thinking the same thing that you're thinking. Everybody's already looking at the same information that you're looking at. So you know that the first person, if you're not number one in your draft, you already know you probably are like, okay, Jamar Chase might be taken or whatever. So just make sure you have them. Have all of your running backs, all of your wide receivers down, and make the right choice. I'll give y'all round 2 tomorrow. I promise. Okay. College football. I don't have too much on college football. What I do have is that the MEAC SWAC challenge for HBCU football is kicking off this Saturday. So we are now moving into the official, I had to say it 3 times because I'm so excited about it, college football season. August 30th, you're going to have some big title games. You have Tennessee and Syracuse. You have Clemson and LSU. I forgot the other team. It's like a doubleheader in Atlanta. Is the AFLAC kickoff, AFLAC kickoff. That is on the 30th. And then you have the Orange Blossom Classic, which happens in Miami, which will be Florida A&M and Howard University. And then you have some Labor Day classes and things going on with HBCU sports, HBCU football. But the MEAC SWAC Challenge kicks off this Saturday, August 23rd at 7 p.m. at Georgia State University. And it's their 20th year that they've been doing this, so 20 years of college football and putting on this amazing just kickoff starter to really get college football going. As you guys know, the HBCU football, yes, Texas and Ohio. I couldn't remember the other one. The college football for HBCU, they always have to be like a week ahead, if you've noticed. So like their kickoff is a week before, I don't want to say actual because it's all college football, but they're the week before those big headliner games like Texas and Ohio State. You can't always compete where you can't compare, and that's understandable. Just like when they do the Celebration Bowl in December, it's a week before the college football playoffs actually start and get crunk. So this is starting this week. I can't ever do a show without saying something about college football because I just love all things college football. But the AFLAC kickoff is definitely on my list because y'all know I love the Vols. Obviously Clemson and LSU, they've been going back and forth, their little pettiness back and forth. I can't wait to see it. I hope I'm at the game. Oh my God, if I'm at the game, y'all, I'm be no more good. We're praying that I'm back at Clemson this season. So we're doing our things. I only have 2 more topics for y'all. Y'all, I kept y'all for an hour last time. I'm gonna keep y'all kind of short this time. Speaking of and moving in to another sport that I don't talk about as much, track and field. The track and field athletes this past summer have been tripping. They've been tripping. So this here is Olympic medalist Fred Kerley, and he has been provisionally banned because he is provisionally suspended. Let me not say banned. Provisionally suspended as a result of whereabouts failures. So whereabouts, you need to basically let them know this is issued through the AIU, so that's the Athletic Integrity Unit, and they essentially issued these type of notices and charges when you're supposed to report in for your whereabouts and you don't. After 3 failure to reports, then you essentially get a 12-month period where you could, or where it could constitute the anti-doping violation, and then you can face suspension for a minimum of 1 year and up to 2 years of ineligibility. So this young man, Mr. Fred, essentially didn't clock in. I hate to say it like that, but didn't clock in. They looking for you. You gotta tell them where you at, because this is the way that they kind of give fairness to the sport. They're making sure that you aren't doping or you aren't doing any type of um, anything that's just not allowed. I think that's easiest way to say it. Anything that's not allowed, they just ask you for your whereabouts, and they do lots of drug tests. And sometimes it's very random, and you have to report in. It doesn't matter if you feel as though you don't have to. It's not about what you think you have to do. It's about what they ask of you and what they tell you to do. And if you don't do it, then you kind of you get in trouble. And I do want to say here they have 5 different circumstances where a failure for your whereabouts can basically lead to a violation, lead for you to get suspended. The first one is if you fail to submit your whereabouts by the required deadline. So you need to let them know. You failed to update your whereabouts, or you have not updated them as soon as possible after a change of circumstances. Again, just let them know. It's part of, I think if you look at it like this is a part of your job and this is a part of what you are required to do in order to maintain or to keep your job, then when you look at it like that, like, yeah, we all hate doing doctor's notes when we go to the doctor or whatever. We hate having to get the notes, but we do them anyway. We submit them anyway. We keep evidence and proof anyway because we don't want anything to happen. We don't want anything or anyone to say something to us about nothing. Nathaniel. So I think you got to continue to treat this like it's your job and you'll be just fine. Okay. The third one is you have filed your whereabouts on time, but they're incomplete or inaccurate or insufficient to be able to locate you for testing. Training, this can mean your training address is missing, your home address is too vague, your competition schedule is missing or incomplete. There's no address of temporary accommodation during competition. The fourth one is the athlete's integrity unit finds out that your whereabouts are inaccurate or incomplete following an unsuccessful attempt to test you. So that just means an athlete lives in a gated community and fails to give instruction to the security gate to let them, to let in the doping officer when they show up to be able to come to your house to be able to test you. The fifth one is you have filed whereabout information, but you are not available for testing at the location corresponding to your 60-minute time slot. I mean, basically you missed your test, right? You just missed your test. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. I think that they're not that bad. Again, this is your job. And you know that you have to do this. So if you already lead from the front, you don't have that many issues. And it says Kerley most recently missed the USA Track and Field Championship. He shared the following message on Instagram about missing it. And then he also wrote, based off of his attorney, this was on X, he responded to them saying that he had already notified the AIU that he intends to contest the allegations that he violated the anti-doping rules. And it says here, quote unquote, as he strongly believes that one or more of his alleged missed tests should be set aside either because he was not negligent or because the doping control officer did not do what was reasonable under the circumstances to locate him at his designated location. Fred will not comment further at this time out of respect for the process and looks forward to presenting his case at the appointed hearing panel. Now, the only thing that I have to that is the doping officer didn't do what was reasonable to find you at your testing location. Well, where are you at? Where are you at? That is the question. Where have you been? If the doping officer comes to your track practice and look around for you and can't find you and leaves, if you knew you was getting tested, where was you at? Where was you at? You got 5 circumstances to where they will give you a whereabouts failure. Only 1 out of the 5 requires a missed test. The other one is like basically information missing, right? Or you doing something, or you being somewhere you're not actually supposed to be at. You tell them that you're going to be at 252 Laverne Court, and you over there at 257 Laverne Court. That ain't what you told them. Is it really? One could argue, is that their job to have to look up the street, under the road, through the hoops, come through a new gate? Like, come on, like, you ain't new to this, bro. You're an Olympic champion. You're not new to this. You know how they are. You know what they do. You knew that you had to get tested. You missed more than one test. Is no excuse. Hold yourself accountable. I'm going to keep an eye on this to see what happens from this, but he's been suspended. And from what I can see, you was in violation. You was in violation. You should have told them to pop up where you at, do your test, and carry on. Because if you know that you're clean and you're not doing nothing wrong anyway, just take the test. Like, it's no reason. It's no reason to have somebody have to look for you to try to find you in order to do your test. Boy, please. That's like when you got to do a drug test for a job. They tell you exactly where to go, what to be, what to bring, when to show up. You got 60 minutes to do it. It's really not that hard. Really not that hard. So I don't feel bad after reading the rest of that article. I don't feel bad for Fred. Fred need to get it together. Shoot. Get it together, Fred. Dang. Anyway, moving on to the last topic. This is basically NBA and NHL news blended together. How fitting. This is Tom Dundon. Or Dundon, whatever. Tom. This is Tom. This is the major owner of the Carolina Hurricanes. And he is coming to save the day across the USA in Portland. He is going to be buying the Portland Trailblazers for an estimated $4 billion. Yes. Tom purchased the Carolina Hurricanes in 2021, and he has revamped that entire experience. Right now, he's working on a new entertainment, basically, district for the Hurricanes. He has revamped and designed a new entertainment district for the fans and for the experience for the Carolina Hurricanes games, where they're going to have like 150 hotel rooms. They're going to have shops and restaurants, and just being a staple in Raleigh, North Carolina. He also wants to bring an MLB team to North Carolina. So he has experience with investments and experience with sporting teams. He knows basketball. Mark Cuban, which I'm not a huge fan of, but Mark Cuban is one of his really close friends and also was an advisor to him when he was buying the Carolina Hurricanes and really turning that team around and really building it up. And they have been a winning franchise for some time now, but they have really just turned it around. They're more upbeat. They're more, just like, woo, when you see them, you know them, they're coming, so he's really taken in that culture there and really developed something big in North Carolina. So he is hoping, and a lot of other people are hoping, especially Adam Silver for the NBA is really hoping that he can take Portland and revamp it, turn it around, give it a new stadium, give it a facelift, and really turn that entertainment experience into a new, just unimaginable place. Because they don't want the team to leave Portland, but they feel as though like they're going to need a new stadium and they're going to need like a 360 revamp for this team to continue to be successful in Portland. He does not want to leave or move the team out of Portland. He does not want to move the team out of Portland. He wants it to stay where it is, and he wants to revamp it. He wants to make it great. And I think this will get more media and talk about, because he can do it. If anybody can do it, he can definitely do it. He's no amateur when it comes to sports, when it comes to investments. He's just not. He has a capital company, so they got the money. They know how to do it. They know how to really ring it in and bring in attention, money, fans, and I think this is great for Portland. Something needed to happen, because for a long time, I'm like, Portland is sad. Portland is sad. Like, who going to Portland? Don't nobody want to go there. Besides, I mean, they won't go to see Dame Lillard, but I mean, who are we talking about in Portland? Just one of those teams that is hardly talked about. So that's great. I really wish that, being as though he's in North Carolina, that when the Hornets were going through their thing in ownership, that he would have got the Hornets. That would have just made perfect sense. North Carolina, it's in Charlotte, another big staple city in North Carolina, another big staple city for sports in terms of NBA. Well, they have soccer too, but NBA, soccer, NFL, that would have been great there. And then to add, they do have the Knights baseball minor league, so that would have been an easy adding a major league team there. But this is the new guy, this is the new owner on the block, and he's going to do some great, 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 great things. Yeah. And before I tap off of here, I feel like I have to talk about this. Is He's not in sports, but what he does and what I found out of how he cons people allegedly is definitely a sport, because I was taken aback. I was taken aback. I was taken aback. Yeah. So I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about it because I was shocked about it. So this is Dr. Umar Johnson, or as you say, Dr. Umar Fantunde, King Kong consciousness, all the things, right? And like I said, he's not in sports, but the way that he is doing my community has to be a sport. The way he's doing it is a sport. So I actually got put onto Dr. Umar very late in the game compared to others. So I didn't really find out about him until maybe end of 2023 coming in, until now. So I used to see clips of him saying, and he says some really great things sometimes and really, makes you think about some things. I also think he has a great, I can't say great personality in a way where he can make you laugh. He can make you stop, think, and you'd be like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And the way that I was brought into him is that he was selling, well, he sold, but he was basically selling this thing about helping the Black community and helping his people and being so close to like African culture and community and all of the things, right? And then I was like, okay, I like this. I don't agree with everything that he says. I don't agree with his antics and things like that. And then it came up with the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy School that allegedly he's been building. Now, when I got into him, or I got picked up or put onto him, again, end of 2023, I wasn't fully well versed on Dr. Umar, right? So I'm just thinking, okay, he building a school. I immediately think of like the I Promise school, how I don't think I don't know if LeBron owns that school or if he just like pays for it. I'm not really sure with that part because I kind of like, everybody said that they doing schools and things, but he said he was building a school. So I'm like, this is great, building a school for Black boys and really wanted to, help educate them and raise them and make sure they have their psyches in order and all that. Because again, I have my bachelor's degree, one of my many degrees, but my bachelor's degree is in psychology. So I'm like, this is perfect. I think what he's doing and what he's trying to do is wonderful, right? And then slowly as we go through 2024, I see more content about him. I watch a couple more interviews and I'm like, okay, he really is for the Black people. And then I think maybe mid 2024, I seen an interview and I was like, he tells a lot of the Black men that they need to be focused. They need to stay focused and be disciplined. And remember I said in my last live that being undisciplined in the bedroom tends to make the rest of your life very undisciplined. This is something that I was told, something I just made up, right? And I just was like, he seems very undisciplined. Like, and I get it. You love women, you love Black women, because he always says, I like them 5'5", thick in the thighs, you know what I'm saying? And I'm 5'5". But I was like, okay. So he really, really likes women, and he circumvents a lot of his content around women. I'm not one to be fooled though. I got to make sure I'm looking at some things. And then seen a video clip about a woman coming through, and she basically stormed into his lecture and was causing a scene about how he was with her last night and how he did her wrong and all type of stuff. And I was like, Dr. Umar, that is messy. That's my type of messy, but that is messy. She's storming in and he acting like he don't know her. And I was like, I don't like that too much. I don't like that too much. You had she already embarrassed, and you just embarrass her more. But now we're to the point where we're finding out that the school, the Frederick Douglass Academy, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, it's a really long name, FDMG school, is essentially about to go on auction because he ain't paid no bills in over 5 years of being in the location. He ain't paid not a dime, not a dizzy, allegedly. Okay, so the court documents was posted on him, posted on the door, and was like, yo, you need to basically, we're taking this property from you. You haven't paid. You owe, I think on one of the property, because it's 2 buildings, I think on one of the property it's like $32,000. I think altogether it's like $72,000 plus that he owes. Now, where this is why I said this is what he does is a sport. This is a sport because he'll get on live, he'll go to the lectures, and he'll say, you need to donate to the Marcus Garvey Academy Fund. You need to donate to this fund. You need to tap in all donations or whatever. I mean, he even blocked the lady because she could only afford $10 and he wanted 20. So he blocked it. And I was like, that's shady. That's shady. But he always says, send your donations. They're supposed to be tax write-off donations. And he has allegedly raised $1.6 million. And the gag that took me out was that this school has been claiming to be built since 2010. Yes, 2010. So it's 15 years now. So for the past 15 years, there has been a promise that a school was going to be built, and he has been grifting. It's like especially Black women, because again, you target one key audience, and they tend to give in because they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel loved, and not in all circumstances, but kind of in this one, because he'll even post text messages from women saying, they hate that he's currently going through this, and that they, support him and all these other things. So grifting and scamming the Black community, especially the women, for 15 years now, it's just absolutely diabolical. And when I found that out, I was like, ain't no way this is the Dr. Umar that I was invested in and watching on the U to the tube. I really don't ever donate to most things if it's not a really, really good cause. So he ain't never getting none of my money. But I feel so awful for those who are still trapped into this cycle. They're running around the same track. And he's just keep feeding them. I knew something was a little bit funny too. When he was like, all we have to do is the floors in the building or whatever. And he went live a few times in the buildings. And you could tell that it was a little bit more than the floors that need to be done. Now, granted, do I think that he was trying to use only Black entrepreneurs and contractors? I do kind of believe that. Do I think that some of them didn't do the work? Maybe. Do I think that he's had bad experiences with people? Maybe. But I do not think that after 15 years, we don't even have not one building complete. And I don't think that that's right. The art and the sport of grifting and scamming and fraud, especially on your own community, has to be studied. I'm really, really disappointed. I'm really disappointed. Really. I'm really disappointed because, again, I came in late to the game trying to figure out who this person is and trying to figure out, like, I like a lot of things that he has to say in terms of, like, building up our Black community, sticking together, the family unit, having Black fathers in the homes, making sure your kids are educated, they're going to therapy, all of these things. I agree with that. But to know that you're using your platform to scam or grift the very same community that has been riding for you for so long was so disheartening for me to find out. It was so bad. I was like, yeah, I gotta get on here and I gotta say something, because I said before on a live that I love Dr. Umar, and I gotta clear that up. I can't support this. I don't love that. I think he said some great things in the past, and I think he has great ideas, and I think that if he didn't grift the black community, he could have been a staple. But you can't talk about the bourgeoisie of our community and then you turn around and you do the same exact thing that you're calling them out on doing. And all of this is alleged because we really don't know, because maybe what he's saying is true. I don't know. But what I do know is I don't like it and I don't support it. And it really sucks. It really sucks that he's doing this to our community, especially black women's, when he talks about how black women are black queens forever, snow bunnies never type vibes. And the same black women that you're saying are queens, you're doing them like that. So I had to clear that up. I had to say it because, yeah, I had to. It was no way that I was. There's no way that I was going to continue to do the show and not say nothing. So yeah, you can't really see my cash tag here, but then you guys so much for supporting and watching and coming on. If you do want to support the channel in any type of way, because this is a one-woman show and doing all the things that I could do, feel free to send me a cash app at cash $ pretty girl des b. Your donations will definitely be going to me getting things done and getting new equipment up in here. You see, I've come a long way in the past 3 years or so. Or you can send to PayPal at thedesirella@gmail.com. Anything is wonderful, anything is lovely, anything is welcomed. So thank you guys again so much for coming on and spending your time with me. I can't wait to see what you guys say. Make sure you leave me a comment, like the video before you go ahead and head out. Like the video before you go ahead and head out. Make sure you're subscribing, put your bell notifications on so you can be able to get me every time I come on. Mondays is probably going to be late. It's probably going to be 10 something because I'm going to be watching Monday Night Football. Thursday is probably going to be the same thing. So Monday and Thursday, be prepared to be on here late. Y'all be on there watching Nightcap. Y'all come over here and watch me too. All right? But I love y'all. Thank you so much for being a part of this community, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.